Have you ever ended your day with the same quiet promise? Tomorrow, I'll start. Maybe you downloaded the fitness app in January. It's still sitting there, unopened. Maybe you bought that online course that's frozen at 4% complete. Or maybe, every single night, you set your alarm an hour early, and every single morning, you move it back. Here's what I want you to know. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a size problem. Your habits are too big to survive. This is the story of a man who failed at every goal he ever set, until a 68-year-old gardener showed him a secret small enough to fit inside a seed. 90 days later, his entire life was different. Stay with me until the end, because this secret can change yours too. In a quiet suburb on the edge of the city, there lived a 29-year-old man named Marcus. Marcus worked at Greenway Nursery, watering other people's plants. 8 hours a day, his hands were in soil. Seedlings grew under his care by the thousands. And yet, in his own life, nothing had ever grown. His apartment told the whole story. A shelf of self-help books, every spine cracked exactly once, at chapter 1. A guitar wearing a coat of dust. A gym membership card, 14 months old, used exactly 3 times. Marcus was what his coworkers called a January person. Every January, a new life. Every February, the old one. The new diet lasted 9 days. The coding boot camp lasted 2 weeks. The podcast he announced to all his friends produced exactly 0 episodes. Every time, the pattern was the same. He would start like a flood, huge plans, big announcements, 5-hour Sunday sessions, and then one missed day became 2, 2 became a week, and the flood dried into shame. And every evening, watering the last row of the greenhouse, Marcus would look at the seedlings, every single one of them, quietly becoming something, and think, everything in this building is growing except me. His mother, Elena, had cleaned office buildings for 30 years to raise him alone. Now she was 61, and her knees were failing, bone grinding on bone with every stair she climbed. The surgery she needed cost more than her insurance would cover. Marcus had made her a promise. "I've got you, Mom. I'm starting a side business. This year, I promise." He had made that same promise 3 Januaries in a row. His mother would just smile and say nothing. She had learned not to ask about his plans. The truth that haunted Marcus most was this: he wasn't lazy. He showed up to work every day. He worked hard for other people's gardens. But somewhere deep down, he had started to believe the most dangerous sentence a person can believe. Maybe I'm just not the kind of person who finishes things. One thought kept returning. Every night, as he set the alarm he wouldn't obey. Why can I grow 10,000 plants? And not one habit? One Tuesday night in March, Marcus called his aunt to ask about scheduling his mother's knee surgery. There was a long pause on the line. Then his aunt told him the truth. His mother had canceled the surgery 2 weeks ago. She had taken extra cleaning shifts instead, night shifts, at 61 years old, on ruined knees, to pay for it herself. Marcus asked why she would do that. His aunt's answer cut deeper than any shout could. "She didn't want to ask you, Marcus," she said. "You have your own plans." Your own plans. The words landed like a knife. Because everyone knew, his own mother knew, that Marcus's plans never became anything. She would rather scrub floors through the night than count on her son. Marcus couldn't sleep that night. He had keys to the nursery for the early watering shift, so at 5 in the morning, he sat alone in Greenhouse 3 on an upturned crate, surrounded by 10,000 seedlings growing quietly in the dark. Something inside him cracked, not with sadness, with a kind of rage at his own reflection. He was 29 years old, and his mother was afraid to need him. He whispered it out loud, to no one. No more. I don't care how small I have to start. I will finish something. At 5:40 a.m., the greenhouse door opened. It was Mr. Alvarez, the owner. 68 years old, and for 40 years he had arrived before dawn, every single day, rain or fever. He took one look at Marcus's face, said nothing, and poured 2 cups of coffee from his thermos. Then the old man asked a strange question. "Let me ask you something, Marcus. How does a seed become a tree?" Marcus stumbled. "It grows? It tries to." "No." The old man shook his head. "It doesn't try to become a tree. It just adds one ring at a time. The seed never worries about the tree. It only worries about today's ring." And then Mr. Alvarez told him something Marcus had never known. At 41, Alvarez's furniture shop had gone bankrupt. He lost the building, the savings, the marriage. He started over with 1 tomato plant on a fire escape balcony. 1 plant. That balcony became a market stall. The stall became a lot. The lot became these 3 acres. The old man looked at Marcus over his coffee. "I've watched you for 2 years, son. You start like a flood and quit like a puddle. You know why you really choose giant goals? Because they're a hiding place. When you fail at something enormous, nobody blames you. Not even you." Marcus looked away. The truth stung more because it was kind. "Come back tomorrow, same time," Alvarez said, standing up. "If you're serious, I'll teach you the only system that ever worked for me. But only if you're serious. It's too small to impress anyone. That's exactly why it works." The next morning, at 5:40 sharp, Marcus was there. The old man nodded with approval. Most people talk, few show up, and pulled a pencil from behind his ear. He wrote on the back of a seed packet. "Answer me this," Alvarez said. "If you get 1% better every day, just 1%, how much better are you after a year?" Marcus guessed. 365%? The old man smiled. "That's what everyone says." Wrong. It compounds, like roots. 1% a day, every day, is 37 times better in 1 year. Not 37%, 37 times. He wrote the numbers clearly. 1.01 to the power of 365 equals 37.78. And 1% worse every day, you decay to almost 0. There is no standing still, Marcus. You are always choosing a direction. Marcus stared at the seed packet. 37 times, from 1%. Then the old man laid out 3 rules. He called it the seed system. Rule 1. Plant it 2 minutes small. A habit so small you cannot fail. Not read a book. Read 10 pages. Not get fit. Do 10 push-ups. Not start a business. Root 1 plant cutting. Your fear can't see a habit that small. That's the point. Rule 2. Never miss twice. You will miss a day. Everyone does. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the birth of your old life. The rule is not perfection. The rule is never twice. Rule 3. Move the bean. Get 2 glass jars. Every day you finish your seeds, move 1 bean from the left jar to the right. Your eyes need to see the growth your mind can't feel yet. Marcus wrote everything in a pocket notebook, hands shaking slightly. Mr. Alvarez looked at him seriously. 3 seeds, 10 pages, 10 push-ups, 1 cutting, every day, 90 days. The books are free at the library. The floor is free. The cuttings, take them from my discard pile. You have no excuse a poor man couldn't beat. Then he stood and delivered the final condition. 90 days from now, show me your jar. But Marcus, if you miss twice in a row, don't ever tell me about your plans again. I'm 68. I only have time for people who water things. Marcus felt the weight of it, and underneath the weight, for the first time in years, something else. A path small enough to walk. "I'll do it," he said. The old man smiled, the way gardeners smile at seeds. "We'll see. Everyone says that in January." The next morning, Marcus began. 10 pages, 10 push-ups, 1 cutting in a recycled cup on the windowsill. 1 bean moved. The first week felt insulting. 10 push-ups? He finished his seeds before his coffee got cold. His old self sneered the whole time. This is too small to matter. But every night, 1 bean crossed from jar to jar. 7 beans, then 12. The jar didn't argue, it just filled. On day 13, a double shift and a broken delivery truck destroyed him. Marcus fell asleep in his work boots. No pages, no push-ups, no bean. He woke at 2 a.m. with the old voice waiting in the dark. See? Same pattern, same Marcus. But then he remembered the second rule. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is a choice. At 6 a.m., eyes burning, Marcus got on the floor and did his 10 push-ups before his shift. The streak was dead. The system survived. And that morning he understood something no motivational video had ever taught him. The rule was never about perfection. It was about the second day. On day 31, something strange happened. Marcus put the kettle on for coffee, and when he noticed what he was doing, he was already on push-up number 7. His body had started without asking his permission. That's when he understood. He wasn't building the habits anymore. The habits were building him. By the end of month 2, 10 pages had quietly become 30. His windowsills held 47 rooted cuttings in recycled cups. At work, he rewrote the nursery's care labels using what he'd read in borrowed plant biology books. Customers started asking for the guy who knows the plants. Houseplant sales rose 18%. People noticed, "Marcus, you seem different. What changed?" He would smile and say, 2 minutes at a time. Not everything rose. On day 58, Marcus took his cuttings to the Sunday farmer's market. Total earnings, $63. He stared at the cigar box, thought about his mother's surgery bill, and felt the old flood of hopelessness rising. Mr. Alvarez, passing his table, read his face in one glance and said just 8 words. "A seed doesn't apologize for being small, Marcus." On day 86, 4 days before the deadline, Alvarez called Marcus into the office. Greenway was opening a second location across town. The old man slid a contract across the desk. "My accountant says to hire a manager with a degree, but I need someone who shows up every day when nobody's clapping. I'm hiring the man who moves the beans. Manager, nearly double the pay, and the back corner of the new greenhouse is yours. Grow your own line." Marcus stood there, speechless. 90 days ago, he was the January person. Now he was being handed the keys. He managed only 2 words. "Why me?" Alvarez's answer became the sentence Marcus would repeat for the rest of his life. "Because in 90 days, you only missed once." Son, most people miss their whole lives. Month 4. Elena had her surgery, the insurance gap paid in full by her son, his first manager's paycheck, his savings, and every $47 cuttings had ever earned. No night shifts, no waiting list. 8 weeks later, she walked without a cane for the first time in 3 years, down the center aisle of Marcus's new greenhouse, touching the leaves one by one, her eyes wet. She asked him, quietly, "You grew all of this from cuttings?" And Marcus answered, "From 2 minutes a day, Mom." On the desk of Greenway East's new manager sit 2 glass jars, the right one full. When Mr. Alvarez visited and lifted the full jar, he said, "I didn't change your life, Marcus. I just handed you a seed." Marcus smiled. "I know, but you watched me water it." My friend, Marcus's story is proof of something most people never understand. You don't need a new life. You need a seed. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not motivation. It's not talent. It's not even hard work. It's size. Your habits are dying because they're too big to survive your worst day. Shrink them until your worst day can't kill them. Remember the old man's numbers. 1% better every day isn't 365% after a year. It's 37 times. And 1% worse is almost zero. You are always compounding. The only question is the direction. So here's your challenge. The same challenge Mr. Alvarez gave Marcus. Step 1. Tonight, pick one habit and shrink it until it takes 2 minutes. 10 pages, 10 push-ups. 1 paragraph. So small you can't fail. Step 2. Adopt the only rule that matters. Never miss twice. You will miss a day. The empire falls on the second day, not the first. Protect the second day. Step 3. Get 2 jars and a bag of beans. Every day you finish, move 1 bean. Put the jars where you'll see them every morning. Watch yourself grow. I promise you this. If you plant 1 2-minute seed and water it for 90 days, you will not recognize your own jar. Maybe you won't get promoted like Marcus. Maybe your windowsill won't hold 47 cuttings. But you will become someone who finishes, and that person can grow anything. Marcus had no degree, no savings, and a 14-month-old gym card he'd used 3 times. He had a library card, a floor, and 2 minutes. You have more than he had. The only question is, will you plant tonight? Or will you whisper tomorrow again and wonder, 1 year from now, why the jar is still empty? If you're planting your seed tonight, hit that like button right now as your commitment. Then drop a comment and finish this sentence. My seed is 10 pages, 10 push-ups, 1 phone call. I read every single answer. And in 90 days, I want to hear how your jar looks. Share this video with the one person who keeps saying tomorrow. Maybe this is their seed. And subscribe, because every week, I bring you one story of an ordinary person who changed everything, and the exact system they used. Remember the gardener's lesson. A seed doesn't become a tree in a day, but every day, it becomes a tree. Your jar is empty tonight. That's not failure. That's day 1.